Welcome and happy Labor Day to everybody. This is Gem Collectors with Shawn, and I am that Shawn that you're getting to see. Now, as I record this, not sure if you're getting a 2-for-1 today, but you very well may be. And how fun is that? So, of course, scheduling around the holiday, always tricky of how it comes out, but the main thing is you get a show a week, and some weeks they're combined. So we'll see how that turns out for you. I know that no matter what, you will support the show, and that's what I love. That you'll find me, you'll watch, you'll support, and you'll love it. And there was new goodies in last show, which may be back to this show. Wait till you see some of the fun things I have planned for you today and some information, because from the very start, this show, unlike others at Gem Shopping, was kind of designed around an informational show. Instead of just show and sell, it was a show and tell opportunity. And that's why you can find us, segueing over to gemshopping.com, go to the page and go down to the Learning Center tab. And if you want to keep up with any information on this show, if anything's been posted, you'll find it there. Plus, straight away when you go to the Learning Center tab, there's several different categories, but no problem to find me, because another option right there is to choose to view one of many. And I kind of got caught up. I was looking in, and I've told you this before, in watching my own shows. And I get enthralled with, wow, this person really knows what he's talking about. And I love the method that he's setting this stone. And then it dawns on me that really I'm looking at myself and my own techniques. But in kind of playing around, which I don't ever do unless it's research, and I usually go directly to a site, but to start wandering on the internet is not something I normally do. But in this case, I kind of did, because I was kind of curious about some of the views. Okay, so in the set of series of how it's done, and that's what you look for when you go to the Learning Center. I only thought that how to drill a gemstone with views now up to 155,000 views was a big number, and maybe just, kind of aside from the others. Oh no. How to flush set a gemstone, which I think it's Miss Barbara is the fortunate one. I am not wearing that two-tone sapphire ring anymore. That is the epitome of everything that revolves around the thought of flush setting or invisible bezel setting. Because you know what? I'm not raising a bezel. I'm cutting directly out of the metal and pushing the metal around that stone from the flush part of the mounting. It's one of the hardest and types of stone setting, and it's one of the easiest ways to destroy your stone, especially when you use the hammer handpiece, which, of course, I do. Now, there's a couple of different types. The Swiss-made one is almost overly powerful unless you really know how to control it. If you use just one of the less expensive ones, it's probably the safest route to go. But I noticed that straight away, so Miss Barbara, I hope you have it, and because it was part of the deal was getting the actual footage from that ring being made. And it demonstrates the technique I used for flush setting. And you know what? Over 100,000 views. And for that specific type of stone setting, that's a lot of people looking for that type of information. And just, I guess, maybe a little bit out of ego, I went and looked at, because there were other options, other goldsmiths that had other I guess, videos on how to flush set a stone. I didn't even bother looking at them because you know what? I had twice as many views as any of the others, okay? I don't know what that means, but I was glad to see that here, gem shopping, me, number one. So, yeah, and so many of those other episodes that Asif produced and directed had 100,000+ views, which in the specificity of the methods that we went through, which was every type of bench project that you would be requesting done, working with your local jeweler that you can come up with. We did it. There was like 30 episodes. So it is everything from how to take a ring off your finger without destroying it like a hospital will, how to set prong set, how to do mill grain, how to size a platinum ring, how to, bead set. Even the, it was how to repair estate rings. So many different subjects that if you watch them all, it would be really neat for me to give a certificate of accomplishment, because if you retain even just a portion of the knowledge that we presented, you would be so far ahead of so many of the other clerks, as I call them, that work in jewelry stores. So anyway, that's another option if I don't pop up for a show in a week and you just need a Shawn fix, go to those shows, because if I found them fascinating, which I normally don't even watch my own self, but at the bench it was a different vibe. It's like, yeah, this is cool, because of course it's something that I really love and enjoy doing. And at home, when I'm not, producing and creating and working for this show, I still do bench work. It's funny though, I do all the hard technical bench work that needs to be done by a multitude of the vendors here. So, I've got a full shop right here, and of course at home as well. So not only that, but doing the lapidary and the gem cutting work, which I absolutely love to do. And it's one of the challenges left, and it's repair work. It's going in and finding the facets that were cut by some other individual. I often wish I could, see into the stone and see the cutter and probably see the primitive piece of equipment he was working with, doing an amazing job, probably cutting the stone 3 times faster than I could. But I have no idea what the angle and the indexing you use. So to find that and to do the repairs on these stones take quite a bit of time. And the nice thing about it is not only for the other people I do the work with, the vendors, is I'm a one-stop shop, whereas if a stone needs to be cut, it often has to be sent to a goldsmith to have it taken out first, then it goes back to the stone cutter, then the stone cutter back to the goldsmith to have it reset and all. But I do all of it, and so I like that too, because it gives me control of the whether the mounting is damaged upon removal of the stone or not, which can happen. But anyway, we have no comments and no trivia, but I will read the 2 that I did read. So the first one was from Harry, and he says, I'm sitting here laughing my head off watching you talk about Little House on the Prairie and how it was part of your life growing up too in your family dynamics. Wow, that is cool about you mentioning the job you did on the ring. Nice job. Okay, that's all. Just a quick note, Harry. And then Anthony because of the show not being there. He says, hey, Shawn, thinking about you, buddy. Hope everything is okay. Mr. Anthony. So that was all we have. So there's no trivia to do. There is no comments to talk about. So that's why I got to ramble on a couple of other things. So as far as the Raven, yeah, she's here. Mm-hmm. She's here. She's here. Mm-hmm. Probably about 30 feet straight up. Moonlighting. Oh, yeah. Moonlighting on me. Imagine that. Imagine her working someplace that she gets paid. Can you believe that? And just bails on me for a paying job? Actually, she's worked here for so long, for so many different, directly for gem shopping at one time, and for so many other vendors. She is loved by all, unlike the long-haired hippie like me. And her ability to understand what's needed on a set is remarkable, and that's why I miss her so much, you know. But she is well desired by pretty much, everybody else here, including me. But I guess, loyalty can be bought. Yeah, it's nice having her just but we had to take 2 cars here. 2 cars, because I didn't want to have to be here at 6 in the morning. I wasn't too far behind there. Okay, so that's all I have to do. I just realized I don't even have a free item. So next week, what we're going to do is we're just going to have your answer to the first show's trivia questions will be the ones that we work with and give a trivia present to. So at the end of today's show, just to let you know, to keep taking notes anyway, we won't be doing trivia. So we're just going to stick with, so it's not confusing, probably to me mostly, just doing with, working with the one trivia, something like that. All right. I really don't know what to do. I'll be right back to start the show. Okay, so I was going to say, for those of you who watched last week's show, but maybe you're watching them back to back, and my suggestion is to watch them in chronological order, because doing that, you will have seen this from last week and the actual picture that Summer worked with. Summer being Raven's 23-year-old daughter, and she is an amazing artist. And this is an exact picture of a stunning actual lightning ridge black opal that Miss Gabby has. And it's only going to be a little bit more. She actually spent 10 hours on this compared to a much smaller number of hours it takes her to do the other mineral specimens. Now, what Miss Gabby is doing is she's creating a year-round Christmas tree. She has gotten pretty much all the wooden ornaments, but we take orders. This is from a picture that Miss Gabby sent of an actual opal that she has, and other mineral specimens. Summer has recreated them as on wood as ornaments. Then she signs them and dates them on the back and writes what the item is. And Miss Gabby is leaving her Christmas tree up year round, as I would as well, as a mineral display, because she's got these incredible ornaments hanging from it. And we've all seen a picture of it, but she continues to add. So anyway, this one has taken up a lot of her time. It's only $88. So only $20 more than the ones that are normally this size. And she has a size that's smaller that she does that's like only $48. But this one, though, is $88. Now, Miss Gabby, to make sure that no one gets this, even Kevin knows, not and I have written on the bag, Miss Gabby, you only. But just call in to customer service and have them ask Kevin for the item number. And yeah, $88. And they'll be able to then process the order. But this is stunning, and the opal that Miss Gabby has is actually quite large in real life. I'd like to actually see it, but it's not a small stone, but it is absolutely stunning. And you know, depending on the angle that some are actually used and stayed with, depending on exactly the way this turned out. But in comparison, the actual picture that she had sent us, it was really an amazing job, and one of, I think, her best works yet. It certainly was by the amount of time that she took. And I'm kind of curious how she actually got the outer rim that symmetrical and that perfectly as an oval. As a stonecutter, I actually have templates, but the templates only go up to like 30 by 40, you know, some of the biggest sizes. That's, I'll have to ask her how she did that. But it's on the yellow pine. So if anybody else wants them, this size and this much effort was $88, but it's the only one we've ever done that much. Most of them in this size are $68, and then the smaller one she does is $48. And she'll actually create a incredible picture on the wood that, like you see here, of a actual mineral specimen you have, or any generic mineral specimen. She actually looks through and she picks them, and she has quite the collection herself of crystals and carvings. So it's kind of neat that she has a kind of a rock hound desire as well. Okay, so just wanted to show you that, Miss Gabby, and now you know what to do, how to make it yours. And with that, we are going to go to a really fun piece. And let me get this guy for you, because it is like in a grotto. Look at this. You know, one of my favorite name stones. All right, so this is well, of course, you know, this is what happens when you don't have Raven around. But it's a wonderful Calcite, and nevertheless, and if I could find the information on it, it might be even more wonderful. But this is it. I have it. Yep, the fan blew it down. That's my excuse. 1076722. 1076722. Now, this is cool because it actually sits up on its own, as you can see. And this is more like a geode form. And with the basalt exterior, they often will kind of remove some of the basalt. Now, Dave, going right to the magic of this piece. We won't do it right now, but I actually used a cool magnifier I have that just ultra magnifies. And working with the camera through there, so we did a test run, and it was stunning in how close it came. But look at the crystals coming off this particular specimen. They are stunning. Look at that one. And that's why this one was from one of my own personal collection. And look at those. Look at those. Dave, work that little magic that you do to make that closer. See, I knew he had magic. All right, look at that. Look, it is remarkable. Now remember why I like Calcite? Because the way it is spelled tells you exactly the primary ingredients. Ca for calcium, Va for vanadium, VAN, and Si for silica. Calcite, a name that is useful, delivers information. Look at that. Look, there's a little other tiny crystal down there. We have stilbite for what this is nestled in all around. Look at those crystals. Look at those beauties. You know, if they were actually bigger, wouldn't that be something to facet one? I wonder if anyone has ever faceted or had a material big enough. It's soft, but still, they cut all kinds of stuff really soft. But really wonderful piece. Oh, there's another crystal back in there. All right, here's the fun thing. I like to make things available. I've never showcased this one before, but available to everybody price-wise. And that would make this $28. $28. And it's one of the coolest cabincites I actually have ever really offered. So grab that now. Let me show you next. This is another one from the personal collection, 107-6122. And okay, so first let me show you this part. Let me show you this part. All right, now, okay, so this is tricky with the camera because of some of the brightness and the reflection that you're going to get from this, and the way it sparkles. Because in person, can you pick up on all those sparkles on this, Dave? Maybe turn the lens around or something. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're starting to get the reflections. Okay, there's two sets of reflections. Let me get my pointer. There's these that you see, bigger, very clear, almost. And then there's reflections, all kinds of bright little, there we go, you're seeing them there, on these other bladed crystals. Now, how to figure out what is what? I took it into the closet and I put an ultraviolet light on this thing, and boom, I knew why I had it in set aside in my collection, because it had and has stunning fluorescence. Really beautiful fluorescence, and a wonderful orange, strong orange color. And it was all over. Then the one thing that really lit up is this crystal right here. All right, so everything you're looking at, you have bladed calcite that formed. On top of the bladed calcite, because there's many stages to how this evolved, grew another round of calcite that sprinkled it with fairy dust crystals of additional calcite all over. Then quartz came in. That's what you're seeing here, quartz crystal. But not before a large calcite crystal formed right there. And this thing lights up such a beautiful orange in easy long wave light, long wave ultraviolet light. It's really stunning. But so does all this other. Now, let me show you as we turn this. Now, what Dave loves to do is go into these secret little pockets. Look at that. Look at that. Now, wait till you see what I have coming up for you. It's a bigger version of what you're seeing down in here for, look at those square pyrites. Square pyrite is all I'm going to say. We're going to continue that conversation in a little bit, and you'll know why. But look at the quartz crystals. Look at those incredible quartz crystals. So you have calcite. Look at the calcite. First bladed calcite, and then on top of it. And you know what? This formation, it's distinct, and it is very collectible, and it is, I guess I didn't have room, I'm not sure, because I meant to put the name of the mine. It's from the very well-known Huanzala mine in Peru. And so Huanzala. So you can look it up. And since I didn't put it on the tag. So, okay, now, as we come away from that pocket, all right, it's so fun to see that. Now, picture this, okay, if that is growing on top of there, what is actually underneath all that calcite? Look at those quartz. Look at those quartz crystals. Look at this, boom, an entire other world, and it sits up on its own just like that. It displays itself. You know how much I like that, because guess what? You can turn it around, and it's a totally separate, different look to the mineral specimen. You have that. You have this. How cool is that? Okay, now let's look at what exactly is going on here. You obviously had entire pretty much formation of pyrites and quartz. And what else is right up here? Let's look right in here. Okay, so look at that. You have these little reflections, and we've seen this before. Where have we seen that? That should be a trivia question, but we're not doing trivia today. I should do that and wonder how many of you would get it. Let me actually turn around here for a moment, because I have one. Let's see if this happens to have it. It does. It does. This is where you have seen it before. Look at that. This is how you learn. This is how you can figure out from one specimen to the next. Now, as we go from this focal plane to the one right behind it, you can see as we look right up towards the top where all these little sparkles, and right in here, the same look. All right, we'll look at that specimen later. What is that mineral? Clinochlore. Clinochlore. Also, chlorite. It's a member of the chlorite family, or vice versa. But that's what all these little crystals are, scattered across all these oceans. Now look at this. These are quartz. This is quartz. Look at the pyrites. Now remember, pyrite from chalcopyrite, as when you see a cube, then you know that it is not chalcopyrite. And so this specimen has quartz pyrite down here, and look at that, classic quartz formations. And so there's a good chance that if you actually peeled a lot of the calcite back, that, look at that you would have, as you look in these little tiny openings, you can see that the layer of quartz underneath, and the calcite just enveloped it, and the quartz backing up the calcite. Look at that beautiful yellowish kind of tint to it, and then this large calcite, couple calcite crystals actually. Look at that. Look at those perfect terminations. I actually didn't turn it this way and notice that before. Wow. So you have, that says a lot when you see that. And then also, by the way, look at this. They have inclusions, and it looks like they have the chlorite inclusions. I noticed some other black little specks in the top of the quartz crystals. Most likely that is going to be chlorite, since you already have chlorite available right there. Look at that. See, we saw the two crystals terminations up there. Now, look at the bottom. That looks like what ended up to be a twinned crystal. A twinned crystal. What a extra bonus. And that one is the one that really beams orange. All right, so I love looking at these things actually on the TV monitor. Or I'm sure you do at home, because you really get to see them in a wonderful, wonderful way. Look at this. Okay, so this is what they would actually call a small cabinet specimen. And these kind of specimens are not inexpensive, especially from desirable locations like this one is. Price on this, though, my price to you guys, you're going to love it, but I only have the one, and it's only $68. That should be like the double markdown sale price on it. Only $68 on that jewel, and that is certainly a jewel indeed. Yeah. All right, keeping up with that. Now, let me just show you something else from Peru. And this, I think I've offered a couple things before from the fun to say my name of, I'll say it first in my head, so I can say it right. Even though I speak pretty good Spanish in the end, it's still easy to get things wrong. So it's Pachapaqui mine. And this is one of the other big, well-known mines in Peru for wonderful specimens. And one of the things it's wonderful for, let me show you for a moment. Right next to this calcite, let me show you, look at this other calcite. And it is then very easy to see. And remember, with calcite, what we refer to as habits, the different morphologies of it, how many different forms calcite forms in within, staying within its crystal system. It is, I think, somewhere around 150. So you've already seen two here, the druzy and the bladed crystal here. Now, you're going to see two more. I just want to compare this color to the other so you can see in the world of Manganoan Calcite. Yes, that is item number 1076322. 1076322. Now, Manganoan Calcite, okay, normal calcite, the chemical formula is CaCO3, calcium carbonate. The Manganoan isn't just a trace element. There's usually enough percentage that it's actually listed in the chemical makeup. So you would get Ca, Mn in parentheses, then CO3 as the carbonate molecule. So that's what is creating the pink color. Now, we're going to take this one away. I just want to show you just how pink it is, because oftentimes it's Manganoan, you say pink, but you don't really see pink. You know, it's kind of like sometimes the one of the grades of pink diamonds, and you kind of have to, you know, that's why they put rose gold behind them and all to enhance that. Kind of have to look for it, but it's technically pink because it's rare in the world of pink. Same thing here with the calcite. Now, the fun and wonderful thing about this is the forms of calcite in the single specimen. Look at this. Look at this rhombohedral. Okay, so this is a rhombohedral, and when you see it like this in the matrix, you know it's not a cleaved rhombohedral. And I say that because guess what? With perfect cleavage in all three directions that a crystal forms in. So when you have perfect cleavage like that, I can actually, same thing with fluorite, and Raven didn't believe me at first that I could take an octahedral, or I could take fluorite, and I could create baby octahedrals. Those are the bipyramids where it looks pyramid-based to pyramid-based. And I, you know, having done it before, knew how to hit and where to hit. Don't go smashing up your octahedras trying to do what I did. But I nailed it, and it all of a sudden just burst into a bunch of little baby octahedras, and she just had no idea how. She thought I was a magician. And it felt pretty cool for that to actually work. So in the crystal business, let me tell you, this is something that you have to watch for, and it is the rhombohedrals of different minerals when they form this formation, because they can be cleaved off to be that form and created from a bigger one that maybe is broken on one part or something like that. They can take that bigger one and they can create perfect ones from it. And so just watch for that. Now, here is the way to tell you're not getting that. When it is embedded in matrix and attached to that matrix, then you know you're getting the actual genuine crystal and not a cleaved form of it. All right, now, so you have this rhombohedral. Now, look at this. Look at the other side of this. And look at these crystals. These are kind of like the bladed crystals. Now, this is from Peru, so it could be one of those things that forms in some of the Peruvian mines in the bladed form. As we go in a little closer on this, you're going to see just how crystallized. Plus it looks like maybe some chalcopyrite or something mixed in with it there. So there we go. You get to see some different angles here that these are a completely different form of calcite. And then you have this white calcite. I looked at that, and yeah, I determined that to be calcite also. And just then, well, I don't know which came first, but obviously then more material and a different crystal form. That's just really wild for that to occur. And then, yeah, look at that. See how it forms? Actually, look at that. That one, you can see it's actually formed, and then this continued to grow. That's kind of unusual. Yeah, that's a crystal like manifestation quartz, crystal within a crystal. That's kind of neat. I didn't notice that before. And here's the other thing. Oh my, I tell you what, like Brad, you fluorescent collectors, this is a jewel. I even have it noted on the description as strong orange fluorescence. And I mean strong. It is beautiful to go in the closet with. And look at the clarity of that one. Look how clear that is. All right, here's the thing. Another fun one, price-wise, to again make it affordable for everybody. You know, the thing about Manganoan Calcite is normally it's part of a much bigger specimen, and then it costs a whole lot for everything else. This way, in just getting a very neat specimen because of the two different forms of calcite in one, and just the Manganoan, you save a whole lot of money. And here we go. Let's do this. $36. $36. It's just one of those things that with the two forms of calcite, it'd be very difficult to try to find specifically just that. So yeah, fun item there. Hold on one. Okay, let me. I'm scratching out the wrong stuff. That's what happens when you have to do everything yourself. Okay, yep, I'm a whine. All right, but she finished her show in time to help me pick up, she said. I'm only saying that because we worked together here for so many years. This is actually the first time that we've ever brought two vehicles here. Okay, so let me put that aside. I'm kind of not putting things away right now, and the way I should be with help. I'll do it later. Now, you know what? Let me show you. This is made in America, and I know I hadn't seen it before. Item 1075722. 1075722. So let me start off with the bottom of the box. All right, yep, it's in a perky box. All right, original label. Always keep them. Morganite on quartz, Dog Mountain, Stevenson, Washington. Okay, if you don't remember what morganite is, I'm going to refresh your memory. Morganite is a zeolite. Imagine that. A zeolite, and it can form kind of a cross between gyrolite and scolasite. So you have to know what those look like to know what I am talking about. Now, it can also form just really small, almost dustings on items, and it can be often white, but it's easily stained other colors when around them, such as iron oxide. Now, with that said, here we go. All right, another label. Always keep the labels. That's the original one. Who knows how long ago this is, but I know it is a long time ago. Look at this. I think the neatest thing was actually the quartz crystals. And here's the little pocket. So I am suspecting that the morganite, after looking at the material, and yes, So I went, and Stevenson, Washington is the zeolite heaven of the United States, it seems, because there was zeolites in the road cuts, and it told me where I wanted to take off for Washington right there, because it told me exactly where the road cut was, and go dig it in the side of the road. And I've done that here in Georgia. Okay, let's go in and look closer, and you'll be able to kind of see what they are referencing the Morganite to be, which would be these little orange, yellowish orange crystals, and then formation on the quartz itself. Yeah, exactly, including on that one. And as I turn this, you're going to see this is actually quite an attractive piece, and how it would have been removed without breaking it to pieces, I'm not sure. Look at the little bit of iridescence on those. Look at the white crystals. They're either quartz that has not been stained with iron, or you're going to get this at home and look closer to make sure that that's not the Morganite. Hold on one second, Dave. Go right. What's this white spot down in there? Now that is interesting. Okay, so it's just odd that that would be so white. It almost looks like it's 5 or 6 sided. So this is where you get to learn. You get to check it out. Look at that fun pocket as well. And do a little investigative work, which is go to mindat.org. And I'm going to show you in a minute. You know what? When I show you this next specimen, I am going to tell you a story. And I can prove it. And it's a pretty amazing specimen to be able to work with. All right, so Morganite on quartz, Dog Mountain, another one. A lot of you wanted sales. Well, I'm doing sales on items that have never been showcased before, and this is one of them. Run to get this, because if you like something unusual in the United States, if you don't even want to keep it for yourself, give it to someone because of the label. I mean, if that did not travel with the label, there is no one except maybe a collector in the local area that could even begin to tell you what that specimen is and where it was from. That's why labeling is so important. So when they're dually labeled, information added to it from my label, you want to keep that as well. All right, here. It's basically a gift, because it'd be one of those, go find another. When I did some research, I did enough research that yes, there's Morganite in Stevenson, and there's quartz, and there's it associated. So this specimen, actually, I didn't find any of the iron staining. So anyway, have some fun with research, because it's only $12. It's only $12. And yep. But that's following through on my my promise to bring you some amazing items. Okay, this next one, we'll talk about it. It's something you've seen, but never the quality I'm getting ready to show you. 107-6222. All right, this was and is, well, it was, and it only is until one of you gets this. This is the finest, I think, specimen of the lot that I had gotten of the Rosacite. And I think Miss Barbara got one of the ones I featured from that lot. This is along the same lines for quality. I'm so glad that she got that one. But this one is the best of the batch. That's all I have to say. And I'm going to show you more about this. It really, really is. And to know that this is from a very desirable area, and it's found actually nowhere else but the Boubacar mining district in Morocco. The combination, as I show you. So this And Dave just showed me how clever. Dave's pretty smart. He just showed me, look here at the same angle, a picture that on the internet of a snail, and it did and does look like this. You can even see the curl actually kind of in a way, and then here is the snail where it turns up and then would have the antennae. Pretty clever. We do that. We look at rocks and figure out what they actually look like, just like kids and clouds. All right, let me show you what this looks like. Is after Mother Nature grew these beautiful crystals of rosacite, she dipped it in glass to protect them all. Look at this. This has a layer, now it belongs to the gypsum family, but because of the quality that it is called selenite. Selenite, a layer of selenite, which is basically like a protective coating that is over all of these crystals. And I was trying to look for an area where maybe, look at the formation here of the crystals even. Look at that, look at that. Where there wasn't really a coating of selenite on it, and I really couldn't find any. Look at that, see that? Now, all right, here's a good area for me to talk about right here, because you have two different colors side by side. Okay, now, what, in doing my research, all right, and you see the different colors here, what is going on is the fact that the two minerals have a chemical makeup very similar to each other. Malachite and rosacite. Rosacite being named after the Rosas mine, where it was initially discovered in 1908 by Domenico Lovasato. And he named it for the Rosas mine in Sardinia, Italy, which Sardinia is a good-sized island off the boot of Italy. And so imagine that being found on that island. Now, this has a makeup of malachite, chalcopyrite, ferrous dolomite. That is why you see that orangish red color to the iron staining to the dolomite. Wait till you see the actual crystals of the dolomite. And it got that. And this is why your knowledge, which I'm impressed with, a lot of you have learned well, a little bit of chemical knowledge goes a long way. Knowing that pyrite is just an iron sulfide made up of iron and sulfur, FeS, okay? Chalcopyrite is a copper iron sulfide. So you take the same thing and just add copper to it. All right, so now chalcopyrite has the ability of, with copper in it and iron in it. The staining of the dolomite comes from the chalcopyrite in it. And you say, oh, I don't see any chalcopyrite. I'm going to show you where the chalcopyrite is. All right, as we go back in close on this, the chalcopyrite, again, we can pretty much pick either here or here. Do you see these darker areas? Or that is actually chalcopyrite hidden underneath here. And so the bleeding of the chalcopyrite led to these amazing crystals of dolomite. When you get to looking at them, as you can catch the different angles, there's really some nice crystals of that. But really, it's so taken over by the selenite. Look at that, look at that, look at all that selenite. All right, now, I'm gonna show on a piece of paper in a minute, and I'm gonna leave it up to you, whoever is lucky to get this specimen, to determine which one is malachite and which one is rosacite. Now, one thing I can tell you, all these bluish color ones, I've never seen malachite that color. You can pretty much, now remember, if rosacite is the same chemical formula as malachite, just with the addition of copper, then you can, and they're both in the monoclinic crystal system. So they both have the same crystal system. So they're going to form, and I looked at these under 30 to 60 power magnification, and you can see the amazing little tufts of crystal sprays that the malachite produce. The rosacite, I see a little bit more of a botryoidal formation, but I also see that same spray of formation. So you can definitely, the blue-green ones, you know that they're rosacite. But rosacite takes on colors that are exactly that of malachite, because there are specimens. Now, here's where I want you to go to. Go to mindat.org, mindat.org. Look at the specimens that are posted. Usually only the better specimens are posted, and there's a number of these. This specimen far exceeds the quality of any of the other ones posted. The ones posted have very few rosacites, or don't have selenite over the entire coating, or look drab. This is far from all of that. Look at that. Look at the reflections you get. And if you already have one, well, you can upgrade to this one, or just add another one to your collection, because you can see a lot of rosacite, but then look at the greens. That's the ones that are difficult to tell. Now, here, I made a little piece of paper that I'm going to put right here. All right, as we come out, I'm just going to show you. Here's what's going to make it easy for you to understand. All right, here we have the malachite, formula for malachite. It's copper carbonate. That's why we talk about the copper bicarbonate. Copper carbonate with hydroxide molecule. All right, so this is the exact molecule. All right, don't look at the first portion of this, just look at the end. CO3, OH2, exactly identical. The only thing different between malachite or rosacite is the addition. You have copper, and then you have zinc. So you have the addition of zinc to that formula. Now, if they're both being in the monoclinic crystal system, so very difficult to tell. Zinc being what helps alter that color, but both being in the same crystal system, it'd be difficult to tell. But I think it could be done. So there are specimens that are on that site, and they're nothing. They don't even say malachite. They just say all rosacite. But there hasn't. When you look at them, most all the specimens are the same color. This is really cool because you can actually see, even from a distance, the difference in color, the blue-green against the green. Now, let me show you. As we look on the back, look at it. You still get that reflection. It is, you know what, other than that, this surface, if it didn't have that, you could probably, it'd be kind of like dusty, like limonite would be, or goethite. But with the selenite, it's like a sealer. It's like a sealer on it, which is really, really, really neat. And without a doubt, I am sure barite is often found with these, and galena. There's probably this other ores. This is maybe galena in here. There's probably at least 2 more minerals that could be found on this specimen. But wow, look at that. Look, that is a stunning color, and now look at the size of this in my hand. This is a cabinet quality size and cabinet quality and a snail. So it actually displays, oh, there's a turtle that way. Huh. Wow, look at the crystals up underneath there. And this way, it is not much anything. So we'll turn it around this way. All right, here we go. I have an opportunity price-wise on this, and it's really the finest one of my batch. So after this, I'm not going to come up with a better one. I think Raven has stashed one. I think I saw it. It's bigger, but I don't think it is is better. She just went for the larger size. So here we go. Price on this. I'm just getting my marker. All right, only $148. $148, and that is a jewel, because you have the four primary minerals: malachite and rossicite, chalcopyrite, and ferrous dolomite, making this piece up. Really, really desirable. And it's only from one small location in where it was originally found in Sardinia, but in Boo Becker in the mining district, and nowhere else is it found in this four mineral combination like this. Price on that, yep, only $148. All right, let me tuck a couple things away. I'll be right back. All right, now I thought I would segue into this one because of the same thing. Now, you can see this is a nice size specimen. And look at that brilliant glitter. Well, it's certainly not coming from the hematite underneath it. That is a coating of selenite. A coating of selenite doing that. And then this has got a little bit of everything with it. You have your limonite and your goethite. And this is from the world famous Santa Eulalia mining district. So a very desirable origin. And of course, selenite is gypsum, which is a calcium sulfate with water, and it's called selenite in reference to Selene, the moon, due to the way it looks. And remember the big selenite crystals I've had those selenite spheres that with that amazing cat's eye that they make and things. So we love selenite around here. Now, as we look at this, there's something else that might stand out to you. Look at that. And I'm wondering why I didn't put it in the description. But you can just go from me telling you, look at that calcite crystal right there. Look at that calcite crystal. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I say that's calcite. It always seems to be, but I'm looking kind of at that twinning right there, which would be calcite, but it also could be a, with that twin like there, because remember fishtail selenite, maybe that's why. Maybe when I was doing my research, maybe that came up as a selenite crystal as well. You can do a hardness test. You can do a fluorescent test to help you out. Now, the neat thing is not only is the selenite crystallized, but it has totally covered the hematite. And it's kind of difficult to get a feel for the hematite and the formation of it. It looks like a little kind of like the rossicite malachite piece, like the hematite, which of course, remember in quartz, as an inclusion in quartz, it can form all kinds of neat little spray formations and whatnot. So that would be fun for you to check out, because it is certainly going to be a crystallized formation. Oh, as we come around here, see, this is where you get to have fun. You can actually, as a cutaway, look into the edge of that, and so you can see that the hematite looks like it's towards the top of the crystallization on these. So like they're hematite tipped crystals. Also looking at it from right along the edge here. So that's something for you to make note of, and it all has to do with the formation and what came when you're a mineralogist and geologist. That's where they figure out the whole deposition layer of, see, look at this. And this, in the world of limonite and in the world of iron oxides, this tells you a lot. Oh, look at that. Always a chance, remember, to be able to find pyrite or hematite, goethite, other crystal formations in these areas back here, because of all the oxidation from the iron and any other ore bodies. I think, George, where are you, by the way? Our geologist, George, who I'll never forget, he always said he doesn't like to collect any metallic ore bodies. So that would mean like hematite or, any of the minerals like galena, those kind of things. Anyway, you have black goethite, you have a great example of red hematite here, but now somehow I think this part where the hematite is, if you stripped away the selenite, it's not going to be as, it's going to be prettier than this. Just kind of guessing. Anyway, this specimen is a really nice collector one to add to a collection of the Santa Eulalia mining district specimens that you might have. Mexico is world renowned, of course, for the Nika mine, which is produced and those amazing, huge, 50, 60 foot long crystals, 2 to 4 feet in diameter, a living geode that scientists got to explore, and that was all gypsum. That's selenite. Those are big selenite crystals. So this is from those same kind of deposits that Mexico is well known for. This specimen, you know what? I am going to put it on sale. I am putting it on sale. Here we go. $44. Only $44. There's a sale price for you. Okay, now, yep, I got to remember to turn around. If you noticed at the beginning and maybe looked behind me, you might have seen a couple of really interesting items. And you would be correct. Now, I am trying to gather that information up on my own because I don't have my able-bodied assistant with me, which can make a big difference. So I'll look at the next break for the information to that one. And in the meantime, let me show you. I have so many things set aside for you. All right, yeah. All right, I told you I was going to offer a couple of opportunities on some more triplite. And it's one of the famous, quoted by Miss Barbara, Pakistani 4. In other words, one of the 4 primary minerals that I got really good deals on by buying some of them, the miners' production of the season on some of the items. And so the opportunity I got on triplite, I first bought a couple small parcels, and then a big one came in, and I just said yes. I just said, I'll take it. And all I got was a picture. He didn't do any kind of flashlight or background or whatever. I just knew that it sounded like a good deal for something that is one of the rarest finds that has come out of the incredible mining rush to the higher elevations of some of the most remote areas of Pakistan that you could get to. So it was pretty neat. At one time, the offer was made for Asif and I to actually go for my connection, my guy to take me Havis, and that would have been a heck of a trip. But of course, things politically and whatnot have changed since then. So, which that also changes the availability of minerals and specimens to come out of there, and it's not for the better. All right, let me show you a new batch of tripolite I put together that I said, remember, I was going to hand pick the stones. 1075922. Now imagine, so these are coming from the miner to Havis, my dealer friend, straight to you guys through me. And that is, you know, probably 2 or 3 connections less than you would normally have. All right, now I have kind of put these in water to show what they would look like. Now, there is, in the world of tripolite, there is no good crystal formation. They tend to form very blobby type of crystals. But I was wanting, let me see, if I had one of my flashlights to be able to, let me just look at something, demonstrate something here. No, I may have to wait until I show you. All right, so here's one of the collections I put together. And this is just not, only one small pocket was found in 2015. And oh, look at, this is unusual. I hadn't really seen that. I see a little bit of a chatoyancy coming off of that, which as a cabochon, you see that little bit of a reflection coming from there? That would be unusual. Or it's also has matrix involved with it, which not too many specimens do. So in the world of tripolite, this is really one as good as it gets for crystals. You just don't find great crystals. Here is another wonderful piece, and I think I will wait until I have my magic flashlight so you can actually see some of the colors of these. But these were just a collector's batch, except this one was actually very gemmy at the edge. But this is how tripolite is found. Here's 3 great specimens, and I'm going to be bringing you some others as I go through them. But this in the 3 stones, it's 100 carats worth, and here is, like I said, I was going to make it priced so that everybody can get in on some of the Pakistani 4. $28 for all 3. $28. Remember, it was our one of our gem cutters in our family group here, Mr. Anthony, that cut a 41-point tripolite out of one of these pieces of rock. And needless to say, a stone, even 41 points in tripolite, and they expect it to be included because these are found mostly included and not very large when you do get a stone. You can cabochon those, and maybe that one piece would be a neat cabochon, since you actually have like $9 each, whoever gets these. So to get something this unusual and unique for only $9 each for a specimen, to come from that far, that's a really good opportunity for someone to add to your collection if you don't have any tripolite. And this is the 3 pieces. See, you can actually see some of the crystal formation in this one, and that's about it. They just as good as it gets. It just doesn't get that great. So I'll be having some other opportunities for you in some of the a little bit more expensive and some of the cutting qualities as well in the weeks to come. Now, let me let me show one of these, because 1017021. Now, I am offering this one. We had some others. We sold a lot of. We don't have too many left. So if you have not gotten in on our fulgurites, we were and are the fulgurite king and queen. We were able to make a deal with a gentleman. Look at this. He had collected in the 80s from the sifting shakers of a mine producing fine sand for building materials in Florida. And it was right here, Polk County, Florida. Fulgurite, fused sand in the glass. And so a lightning bolt is usually no wider than the thickness of a pencil. And what it will do is on the inside, and you can actually see in this specimen, look at the difference. Okay, you see that glass reflective finish right there, reflecting off. Only on the inside. That's how hot it is. So it fuses the sand. Look at back in there. You can see all the way across that. Look at that. It fuses the sand into glass. On the outside, just the sand particles stick to the fused glass on the inside. So that's the difference in the temperature. It doesn't fuse at all. Look at that. This is one of the bigger ones. You can actually see all the way through it, and it's an unusual one. But this is indicative of, and is proof, that lightning is no wider than a pencil in most cases. Look at that edge. Look at that fused edge. So this is a particularly nice one. It's actually large by way of width. Sometimes you get them like more like straw-like and longer, but I like the width of this one. And so this is only one we're offering. It's one of the nicest ones we have left. We only had a few left. Maybe I'll show one each a week if you want. So yeah, price on this. Let's see. I think what do you have there, Asif? Is it? What's the last one? Yeah, that's what I got. Okay, same price as before because we can't do any less than that. $21. Only $21. You get the neat little information back there, the backstory to it. So wouldn't that be neat to run the sand? He knew what they were. He knew what they were. So he operated the. I mean, to me, that would be like running a gold dredge and then a sluice, and them collecting the sand and leaving the gold behind, because the fulgurites were worth far more in excess than any amount of sand relative to the number. And he collected a large number of them. And it was only in not that large of an area, but over a period of time, if you have an area of Florida that's nothing but like sand dunes, lightning is going to strike those sand dunes and it's going to produce a fulgurite. And I'm talking about, this is over eons of time, tens of thousands of years. And so when they go, it built up, and I mean, he got hundreds and hundreds of them from that location over a period of years of them mining. And that's not what they were doing. So at the end of it, all the sand went through, and so as they're throwing out the rocks and everything, when they're done with the sifter, with sifting it, he'd grab all the fulgurites. No one else knew what they were. I think it was just a great, lucky guy, right place, right time, and wow, how neat is that? Okay, let me have a moment here so I can put up some things and get some others for you. All right, now this is something that I may not even be able to offer again. And for the client that a while back was looking for Afghanite, this is often sold for Afghanite, and that's why, which would bring a bigger premium. That's why you really have to know who you're dealing with and who you're working with, unless you want to pay for a chemical analysis of it, which is quite expensive to do. This is, remember, okay, we've talked about the true nature of the 9,000-year-old gemstone called lapis lazuli. Yes, lapis lazuli, they have determined it was used as jewelry, as ornamental uses, going back 9,000 years. one of the oldest stones that they have been able to pinpoint uses going back that far. Now, that's lapis lazuli. Now, lapis lazuli technically is a rock. Remember, it's a rock. It is, when you look it up, it is officially classified as a rock composed of 3 minerals. That being pyrite, calcite, and the third, lazarite. This is the blue that you see in lapis lazuli. When you see it with the pyrite and the calcite and something that's blue, this is what you're looking at, except this is the pure crystal form of it. And the crystal form of the type material. Now, I'm not talking about like the Rapid Creek, Alaska, or Yukon type of lazarite, which is, kind of crystalline and transparent, and is often found with the siderite. I've offered some of those here before. Looks nothing like this. This is what looks like the blue in lapis lazuli, which it is. Okay, so lazarite. Now, remember, I've actually told you the real truth to lazarite. The real truth to lazarite is the fact that it is, when it comes down to it, is a very high sulfur content bearing alwine. Yeah, so it's alwine with a whole lot of sulfur, but they're allowing it to be called and classified still as a separate mineral. Now, this is, and first, the word lazarite is from a Persian word, which is Lazward, Lazhward, however you would pronounce that. And it, the blue in the stone is attributed to that word, as is the mineral azurite. So both lazarite and azurite derive their name from the Persian word for blue, which is Lazward. Now, one of the really cool things about these specimens from this area is the other minerals that can be found with them that are a whole lot of fun with a black light. That's why, everybody has to open up their world. They're not expensive. Get a long wave black light. You don't have to worry so much about short wave if you don't want, but at least the long wave, and you'll be able to get to 75 to 85% of most of the fluorescent minerals. Short wave, doesn't excite nearly as many different minerals as long wave does, but it is effective. So if you can get both, I would recommend stepping up and get both in the same unit. Now, when I went in the closet with this piece, oh boy, I was in the closet for a long time, because I kept switching. Now, my blacklight is handheld, and it has a long wave and a short wave light that are on at the same time, and there's a little separator between the two. So you could pass a specimen back and forth in front of each of the filters and be able to see short wave or long wave, instantly back and forth. So you can actually see the difference of what reacts to what and to what degree. So it's actually a great tool for helping to identify certain minerals, but not a tell-all. Okay, now let me show you. Here's the specimen. Look at how big it is. Okay, so this is what they would call a small cabinet specimen. Now, look at this. Look at this. are actually well defined. A lot of the crystals have exactly these kind of rounded formations to them. They're not like you picture like a quartz crystal with really sharp angles. These are large. These are large. But so when you look at these, you will see that there is no calcite or pyrite in them because you're getting the pure. This isn't lapis lazuli. This is the blue in lapis lazuli. This is the lazarite. Now, look at this. You can see really the nice crystal outline here and a couple of others. Okay, so let's spin this around so you get a picture of the entire piece. Boy, all right. I took, okay, for one thing, let's cover pyrite. So you're going to see some pyrite, but it's not going to be in the blue. It's going to be separate in this and in this. Now, what is this? Well, this is something that I've offered before and still have in faceted gemstones, except this is the massive, what they call the massive or granular variety of mariolite. Mariolite kind of belongs to the scapholite family, but this is the fun part. All this kind of grainy material, it is stunning. Long wave, ultraviolet light, it is yellow. Short wave, the same stone, it is orange, and I mean it is not like a yellow orange to an orange yellow. It is yellow, and then it is orange from one to the other, and that's why I kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, checking it out all around. So all of this kind of cream-colored material fluoresces stunningly to yellow and orange. Oh, here's some of the pyrite. You can actually see some of the pyrite embedded in the rock there. And oh, look at this. You have some other, could be galena, other metal ores. I wouldn't be surprised if there's chalcopyrite around this as well. Look at that. You can see a couple crystals of something right there. I haven't checked that out. I would. That looks really neat. Whoever is lucky enough to get this specimen. Now, here's the other thing. So I was in the closet. Oh yeah. And what I also discovered, the calcite. Yes, there's calcite. All right. So the calcite. Look at the white. See this white part? It was really cool. It fluoresces a bluish lavender purple, a color, one of those colors. It's blue with lavender or light purple or whatever. But yeah. So all this calcite, you have either orange and a bluish lavender or a yellow and a bluish lavender. And what fun is that if you have a fluorescent collection? It really shows off. Okay, so rare specimen, try to find another like this, especially at the price. Fluoresces like crazy, big crystals of the lazarite that the lapis is known for, and it is from the same area, from the same mining district. Sorry, Siang. In Afghanistan. And needless to say, in Afghanistan, yeah, mining might be a little bit interrupted, for the next 2 decades. So this this specimen is one of those deals that there's not going to be any more coming out anytime in probably in my lifetime. I'm lucky to have this one, but I'm going to share it, and I'm going to share it at a price that really, take advantage of it. It's only $98. $98. You know how much I would like to say $88 on things, because $98 is a number I seldom ever use, but I couldn't, because $88, I just couldn't go that low. This specimen commands, a good deal more than that. And to a fluorescent collector, it just has a really nice desirability factor because you have a yellow, orange, and a bluish purple. You have all kinds of stuff going on. And that's very cool. $98. Take advantage. Okay, what I'm getting ready to show you, this probably will wind up on the turntable, but first, yes. You know, I collect two things, the Made in America items, and the other is everything to do with my birthstone. That's why everybody, you know, I was born on my dad's birthday in January. So everybody got a, who participated in our Open Your Heart Up and Cry a Lot participation event, and got a free Japanese iridescent garden. What I'm getting ready to show you and offer for sale out of the batch of them that I had gotten a number of years ago. The mine has been closed. The coast mine has been closed since 2005, when they were overrun with, of course, rockhounds trying to get to the ore body, which is very small, and it is pretty much mined out anyway. So if opportunities on these are slim, and as Miss Barbara said, she read an article in a technical magazine that said that the Japanese androdite rainbow iridescent garnets were, for what they are, the finest of any, not even a close second to any of other androdites that have an iridescent property, like the ones from Stanley Butte or the ones from Mexico, and really very few other places. This, hands down, beats them all. Now, what I'm getting ready to show you is one of the largest. Anything really over a 5-carat crystal is big. 7-carat is really big. I'm getting ready to show you a 12-carat crystal. Item 1076522. Getting ready to show you. And you get the first and ever offered little magnifying box with it, only because it, I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of cool. Look at this to start with. That's why, because I put it in here and I happened to see what that looked like, and it was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And before we take this out of the box and explore the rest of it, let's zoom right in there and let's look at that. Look at that. Now, that is some true, stunning rainbow reflections. And as we turn this, you can see other colors down the side. We're going to explore the rest of this. Now, you know, this isn't one of those $38 crystals. This is one of the biggest I think I've ever offered outside of crystal clusters that I had like many, many, many years ago. All right, let's look at this. This is over, yeah, it is a world-class specimen. Now, I don't think, look at that, look at that. I don't think there's a face on this garnet that doesn't have some type of iridescence. And look, every little angle, and that's why I have tucked this one away. And now, I've enjoyed it, and I'm willing to share it. Look at those, look at those. And those are the little, let me get a pointer on here. Wow, look, wow. And we haven't even gotten to some of the, oh, wow. You know, that's why you can just be mesmerized by these for a look at that. And you think a certain crystal face doesn't have a iridescence, and then all of a sudden you hit the right angle and boom, you see it. And look at that. Now look, getting to the bigger ones, look at that. Oh, look at those colors. Look at those colors. And then look at the beautiful shape to the faces. Look at that. And look at the clarity to the surface portion. They're very translucent. And let's come around here. Look at that. Look at the purples. You know, every face has a different play of, look at that play of colors, it seems. And that's why I had kept this crystal to myself. Yeah, we're still looking at new faces you haven't seen. Look at this face, look at that green. Look at the blues, the purples. Now I'm just randomly flipping this around. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So you can get an idea of the general shape to this. It's looks like a couple crystals that have grown together. And wow, look, it's a large crystal with exceptional iridescence, Really, like I said, I don't know if there's a face on this that does not. Look at that. We haven't even found this one before. Look at that color. That's what I'm saying. You know, you can just turn these and just keep seeing faces and colors that you haven't. Kind of like looking in a kaleidoscope. Wow, look at that from that angle. I bet even that little face there, just find the angle that it gives you that. Here, there it is. Look at that. So at this real obtuse angle, look at that. There it is. So I wasn't sure if that had color, so I turned away from it. Boom, found it. Isn't that neat? That is neat. I mean, a youngster would have a lot of fun just looking at this. All right, so I'm going to set it down on the turntable for a moment. Let this spin, and then also let you kind of see the translucency to this. It's a very translucent stone overall, and look at that. Look at that. A large crystal of garnet in this garnet's world. To be a 12 carats is huge. Price on this, it's marked it way down for what it is, especially when you start factoring a price per carat situation. You know the ones, have you seen the ones on the internet? I told you to go look. They were like 79 points and they were like $40, and they had no shape, no color, and it was like the best offering. Anything else was hugely priced, which there were not even many options because there's very little of this material. I was fortunate enough that I right place, right time, made the right decision, and now I'm sharing that good fortune with you. See, I can spin it around for a little bit that way, then turn it, look at that, a different direction, and you're gonna get a whole nother. All right, $188. $188 on that one. Excellent value on a really precious stone. If you want to collect something that really will never be discovered again, I mean, I say that never word, but at this kind of level of quality and rarity, I think I could pretty well safely say that. Yeah. Found as a vein that was really kind of outside of I think it was a magnetite mine that it originally was. But yeah, you can see the translucent nature to that. And it also doesn't have any of that frosting on the faces of the crystal, which, by the way, I was actually going to do a kind of demonstration, but that time got away from me from setting that up for you, of how to, I'm trying to figure out a way on these garnets, you know, on the faces when they have those that little bit of a, what looks kind of like an oxidation or a surface film. Well, I have figured out a way to remove that without affecting the actual original shape of, or anything of the garnet. It doesn't remove any of the garnet. It just removes that surface stuff. So I'm going to try to perfect that so that maybe you can even do it at home. If you want to start trying, I would try with a aggressive eraser, or just a regular one to start with, but see if that doesn't help you out some to start with. But and then we'll get into maybe some other more effective methods to be able to get to the crystal. All right, let me tuck that away and I'll be back. I am bringing you one of the most amazing specimens I probably have ever brought you over the years. By the way, today, the 250th show of doing the podcast. So a milestone there. Listen, this is a Hemamorphite lover's dream. This is from the Ahuela mine, which has long since been closed. Only a suspension bridge to get to it now, and there was actually a little town built up there, and so this, the way the crystals formed on this, it was only one discovery in 2009, towards the end of 2009. And when they discovered, now Hemamorphite has been found at this mine for a long time. This mine has been operating for quite some time and producing world-class specimens. Hemamorphite is a zinc silicate. Now, smithsonite is kind of its relative because that's a zinc carbonate. Oftentimes, they're found together. And Hemamorphite derives its name due to the morphology of the crystals. And you're going to see that due to the shape of the crystals. Now, it went by a couple of different names up until 1962 when the naming body that decides these things picked Hemamorphite wisely over calamine. Now, if calamine sounds familiar, if you're my age, you grew up getting slathered in the stuff when you lived in Florida. I mean, it was calamine lotion for ant bite, calamine lotion for poison ivy, calamine, and they were fire ants. Oh man, I remember those. And it was calamine lotion, which is truly very similar. It was a zinc type of treatment, and I remember that pinkish color to this day. Now, Hemamorphite, let me show you. Let me show you this beautiful piece. This crystal formation couldn't be any more indicative of that particular find. And let me show you, as I turn this piece around, you're going to see, let me show you this play of crystals. Okay, here we go. Look at these. See this stacked formation? You have to focus on exactly what's going on here to see the rarity. Let me get a pointer here to this. This formation of crystals that are stacked on top of one another. Look at that. And see this? Look at the array of them. And actually, everywhere you see them, they're part of a stacked grouping. And this formation of Hemamorphite, when you go through and you look at all the other Hemamorphite coming from this particular mine, it was only the discovery in 2009 that had There we go. Look at that. This type of crystalline formation. Look at that. This, for the clarity and the almost perfect condition, puts it way up in the collector's class. Yeah, look at that. And it is definitive for not only the mine, but the particular discovery in a certain particular period of time in the mine. And the way these crystals form was only found in that one particular pocket in that late part of 2009. Now, this is it's really stunning when you get to looking at it, and the really perfection of how the crystals formed like that. Price on this, I gave you the price on it if you want to jump on it now before someone else does. It's only $228. $228. This is a specimen that can command way beyond that. Oh yeah, we haven't gotten to it all. Look at that. Look at that. Let's go in on this a little closer and you're going to see, yeah, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you can call it crystallized, but crystallized in a botryoidal formation goethite. And then a white mineral that I haven't totally figured out, but that's what you guys can do too. Look at this. Look at this. Dave zooming in so perfectly well that he made goethite look really attractive, which it is. Which it is. Look at this. The entire bottom of this having, look at the little shiny crystals there. Remember hematite, which you're looking at right there in the red? Oh yeah, so goethite, which is a iron oxide, and then you're going right to another iron oxide, hematite. And then look at that angle. Look at that angle with the black crystals above the undulating band of hematite. And then how those crystals are that beautiful, beautiful white is beyond me, how they didn't pick up some kind of other coloration. This is by far one of the finest Hemamorphite specimen. Well, it's a world class. It's cabinet size. So, you know, it's not one of those little small little specimens, 2 or 3 inches. No, this is a big, look at that. Look at that. Big specimen. I see very, very little damage or chipping to the crystal, which to the crystal collector, it matters a lot, a whole lot, if there is any. And here's the other thing. I see some unusual formations like this right there. There's every possibility, and this piece weighs a good bit, but there's every possibility that you could determine there might be cerussite, which is a lead carbonate. You know, there could be a lot of other minerals mixed in along with this. Oh yeah, there was something else I want to show you. Here we go, here we go. There it is. Look at this. Okay, now, look, there we go. Great job, Dave. There's, let me hold my hand perfectly still as much as I can. Look at those. Those are crystals. Now, if I touch the brown ones, like right there above my thumb, hold on. If I, and I'm tempted to do it in front of you so you can see, like look at these. They are almost pseudomorphs because if I touch that, it actually will crush it. It actually just turns to silt. And so, you know, you can try that at home. I'm not sure what they are because they have like crystal faces to them, like they have replaced something, or they could just be another iron oxide. But see, this is botryoidal formation. These have crystal faces to them, the brown ones. So it was, look at that. See them all? Not really sure what they are. So much left to be discovered. And this, you know, I've offered some Hemamorphite before, but nothing along the lines of a specimen like this, coming from the very desirable Ajuela mine. And buyer beware. Any blue crystals coming from there, no such thing, because they're dyeing these crystals and selling them. A lot of people have been taken already. And also, there's Hemamorphite coming. It's so desirable for it to be from this particular mine that other Hemamorphites that are being mined in Mexico elsewhere are being sold as being from this particular mine. This crystal habit of the Hemamorphite is indicative of one particular find and is definitive for it to be from that mine. And look at this. You know how I love for them to self-display, and that one does. That one does marvelously. Now, what I'm getting ready to show you is something that I haven't offered before. I thought I had some other paperwork on this, so let me, let's see. Item number 10.
This is not it, or something else?
Yeah, this is going to be a different mineral. So this is, I was just trying to read it. Item 1075622. Look at this. This is world famous material, and I'm sure you've seen them before, but not in this show. Look at that. Look at that. If you ever wondered where those square pyrites might come from that you see, well, they come from this particular location. They come from other places, but this particular location, the Ampliación Victoria mine, or however you say that, in Spain. Nowhere else in the world do perfect pyrite cubes form. And the often issue is they form in what's called marl. And marl is kind of a clay-bearing siltstone. Upwards, there's 30 to 70% clay, or flip it around, and the other part of it is silicious silt, which is silt heavy in a silica content, and there's a 70-30% range. So you have either 30% to 70% one or the other. And whatever one isn't, the other is. What happens is this marl is almost not fully solidified together and cemented together in a hard way. So, point being, oftentimes these crystals become loose. And that's where you see them at shows. You can buy them by the handful, all kinds of different sizes. But the most desirable are the ones that are still in the matrix. because this marl and extracting it, it is so easy to knock the pyrites out or for it to crumble altogether. And that's why it's okay if you have a piece of this and if it has some running fractures in it, to fill it with an epoxy, a 2-part epoxy, 5-minute 2-part epoxy. That's what I recommend. Now, I say that because this particular specimen has some of those lines, and you may want to fill them in some point in the future. Look at it's also known for how bright and shiny the pyrites are. Stunning. Now, I am going to show you something that I think is actually desirable because people can get a real feel for the crystal. This crystal, this piece, ever since I had it, it's been loose. And one day, it just came out. Look at this. Look at this. I happen to know which exact side and direction it goes in. Because you see that? It's not a perfect cube. It's a little longer, it looks like. And, of course, it's going to be a little bit different each side. Look at that. This marl. These are formed and crystallized in this very soft clay type material. Now, there's these little other concretion formations, and I haven't had the nerve to try to figure out what one might be, but I think they have some kind of iron content to them. Look at this, and how neat is that to have that to where you can actually remove the crystal or place it back in and have the piece to feature and show. Now, I'm going to show you in a moment, or maybe I should put this in. There we go. Look at that. You just take your time and it will lock right, look at that, no gaps, right into place. Like it belonged there, because it does. Okay, so what I mean, all right, you see these kind of little fissures, see these kind of places, it's acceptable because also a lot of the dealers will do that as well. And it's kind of acceptable because these things are very friable. In other words, they're very soft, this kind of material that they form in. So if you want to, assure that they'll stay together, just do a little fill. And then if you want to disguise the shiny glue, you can, it's so soft, you literally could do it with your finger to rub over it, but just take a knife or something and like there. But I left it up for you guys to do. It's going to stay together for now. It's been there together for a long time. We've had this specimen. This has been our primary specimen for a number of years in the pyrite field from that location. Really, 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 really beautiful cube with here's the thing. The pyrite cubes can have different oxidations and things on them and not be so bright and shiny as this one is. That is bright and shiny. I love this specimen. These go for big money just because there's not that many of them. And but I'm going to offer this at what I think is and that's a large cube. Remember, a lot of these cubes can be the size of a fingernail, much, much smaller. In the world of this, that's quite large. And it's really attractive, actually, that it's just a single pyrite cube sitting there. I'm going to offer this at a fraction of what the market on it would be. I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper I have here whenever I find a piece of scrap. Okay, so to give you a sale price on this would mean making it ready, set, only $148. Only $148. That is a real jewel. And the thing about it is those in the know when you see that, you say, oh, you got one of those Spanish pyrite specimens. And that's exactly the reaction you get. It's very desirable. And that is a large overall specimen for that area. And like I said, it's pretty cool to be able to remove the pyrite in that respect. So great opportunity. Now, what else did I have here? Let me check. Oh my, clock is run down on me. I'm having too much fun. Here was the other one. Oh, maybe that one too. Oh. Okay, now, item number 1075822. 1075822. And okay, you haven't seen this specimen, but you've seen some others that I have offered, but nothing like this. This is my personal one that I kept from North Carolina, and this is not far from my haunt of Macon County in Franklin, North Carolina. Not far at all. It's what they actually call in North Carolina the zircon belt, from the zircon belt. Yeah, I didn't know there was such a thing, but there's an area of a couple counties where they found zircons in with microcline feldspar. This is one of the best of all the specimens. And look at the number of crystals. And as we go in closer on this, you can see, let me get my pointer, just how well formed and how large they're. Okay, so remember, zircons have a, they come to a point. They are rectangular with a point, basically isometric, like a diamond. Look at how large that one is. I wonder just how many this piece holds. Oh, that's right. I wanted to keep that one. Now, that one's not going to fall out, but you could pull it out if you wanted to and have a loose one, or you can glue it in a little bit more secure if you wish. But the reason why I say you might want to pull it out, I often love to see the negative impression where the crystal was. But the other thing, oh my, these have a yellow fluorescence like you would not believe. So again, a fluorescent collector would love to have this specimen. Here's the other thing. You see this line along here, right along here. And oh, by the way, look at how big that one is also. Here's another one. All right, let's follow that line. And it comes around back. Oh, look at what we have there. That is a monster size. Let's go in and look at this one. Oh, look at that termination. Look at that termination. Okay, so if you follow that line, okay, oh, epidotes. We are on the trail of some really cool stuff. Look at these little crystals back here. Look at those. And any of these little openings, you could have crystals could form in them. Look at the green epidote. And these, Dave probably knows what those are. Dave, I showed Dave something earlier, and it was black, and I said, what do you think this is? And he said, oh, it looks like hornblende to me. And he was right. I about fainted and fell down. I couldn't believe it. But that's what I said. Awesome. These guys, they watch this stuff. They've seen it for, what? I've been here, 14, 15 years. I mean, they're bound to take in and learn something, but that was impressive. All right, so here, this entire thing, look at how well formed that crystal is. Did we look at that? Anyway, will come off and expose, which I really wanted to do. And if it was mine, if no one gets this, that's what I am going to do, is I'm going to pop the top off. I am going to, where is it? Okay, yeah. So this little section right here, You see, yeah, see this? It comes up and around here. This would just come up real easy. And oftentimes when it does that, it means that it could mean, let's put it that way, that there was a crystalline growth that kind of pressure kind of forced that fracture along those lines. So, you know, if I open that up, or you guys open that up, and there's a whole bunch of crystals back in there, I'm gonna be so mad I didn't do it. So anyway, look at this, epidote. This is from the Jones mine. You can look it up, the Jones mine. And of course, it is extinct now, as they say. So this is I even read in researching this that and it said that old specimens with zircons in them from these locations are extremely collectible and desirable, and especially by the locals, by the local rock hounds who no longer have access to it. People mined their items, took them to the shows, sold them out, and I'm talking about going back to the 60s. It's been extinct for a long, long time. These specimens, and I was able to get a flat of them. I shouldn't sell a single one of them, but I am. $88 on this one. Only $88. And that's just it. There are no more. There's no more operating zircon mines in the county up there. It is long ago that this was mined. And one of the finest specimens is that one right there for the number of zircons especially. Only $88. All right, let me see with the moment I have left. Can't believe no one got that Manganoan Calcite. I was going to show that scolecite at a discount, but that will take more time than I have to offer it. So let me just grab an item here and make it a ridiculously inexpensive price. And let's see, what is this? Brucite. Oh, wow. Here is a oldie but a goodie. 10, let's see, Shawn, 101 3721. Now, brucite, remember, this particular discovery occurred in the world of minerals not too long ago. And never before had brucite been found where they could facet it or in this color tone. This is in the world of brucite, an extremely fine specimen. Check this out. Look at this color. If you do not have brucite in your collection, then you are missing out. Well, not brucite in general, because brucite can be found massively. Lots of brucite, big hunks of brucite, but not this particular type. Look at this. This is thick enough. You've seen me have those faceted stones. Look at how big that is. That would facet. And of course, brucite, all the stones come out kind of a cloudy color, kind of like cutting rose quartz. And that's just natural. The yellow colors, this is extremely rare and is only from one place, the Kila Sofila, something like that. And this is in this just kind of, what is that actually? Kind of curious about that. That looks like a real mineral, but it's in this other weird kind of, so is that actually. Well, this is more interesting than I thought. Look at that. Look at the shape to that. Anyone gets this, you have to tell me if you figure out. I did not do enough research on that, because that is a crystal, and it is not brucite. That's flanked on either side by, look at the shape to that. Look at, that's a triangle right there. Okay, if no one gets this, I'm going to go back and do my homework. Oh, by the way, look at the surface. See this pearlescent surface? Isn't that neat? That's the crystalline growth. That's actually how it forms. big specimen. Here is a really good opportunity on one of those things. When it hit the market, it was the rage, and now there's no more. It's gone. There's only some things being offered here and there. Here, let me see. I am working up a price. Okay, well, not that I can even read my own writing, but nevertheless, here is your chance. If you want in on something really cool, oh wow, okay, why not? $48. $48. It should be $148. I am just going to see if anybody is wise enough to take advantage of something like that. You know what? We had one time, and it looked like a sunny side up egg, and of course it sold, I think, for that reason. But look at that. It is flanked by a crystal on either side that I do not know what it is, and yeah. If I keep it and I find out what it is, I am not going to put it up for sale again. Not at that price anyway. And if it's something really cool, I'm going to keep it. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. And I have other things I wanted to show you, but I need to, I need the Raven, and I need a flashlight, and I wish I could show you fluorescence. That would be so much fun. But we've tried it. It doesn't come through, and due to the cameras and whatnot. But hey, I have shown you some really unique items. And ending with that brucite piece is really a great piece to end on. So we're not going to do any trivia.
Come back and say goodbye.
So let me tuck that away, clean up a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I hope everybody has had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. And to finish that Labor Day weekend with maybe a couple of Shawn shows back to back, doesn't get any better than that. So take advantage, because there's lots of new goodies in both those shows. Watch them a couple of times. The trivia, we're just going to stick with the one trivia we did from the first show, so make sure you get in on that as well. There were a lot of discounted items, a lot of sale price items, even sale priced items on items I've never shown before. And you saw lots of goodies. I have more new fun things. It's never ending. 50 years of collecting. This is to your advantage. I did all the hard work, and now you get the items work-free at a fantastic pricing opportunity. And you help us all out and keep the show here. Thank you for your support. Once again, being our 250th show, you have no idea how fast it has actually gone when you think of that number at the beginning. It was like, how long would it take to do 250 shows? We did them, and we're going to keep doing them. Thank you. I appreciate one and all. Stay safe, healthy, and let's all look forward to fall. I'm ready for it. Cheers.